A major theme of this course is how we participate in science by providing information, by constructive peer review, and by evaluation. This short presentation talks about the essence of how all those come together, and in the laboratory we're going to be working through each of these parts. So in chapter 21 of the text, talks about scientific evaluation, the process, the using this sort of approach for to evaluate your personal progress rather, how you might use it with many stakeholders, and in general, it's a way to engage in the gathering of knowledge and building a community consensus or community making decisions from a scientific approach. It's certainly not the only approach. We need community building and we need political processes and social processes. But the scientific evaluation is one component of that can really help with all of the other processes that are going on to solve environmental problems. So I just want to emphasize a few points about this scientific evaluation. First, it's scientific. That is, it has the characteristics of science. It's rigorous, it's repeatable, given enough information, it's shared for peer review, and it's iterative, meaning after the process, after the first round of reviews, you modify and you repeat the process. And we're going to go through this in this lab with the three major assignments, and there's going to be peer review all along, some input from your colleagues, and you're going to modify and repeat it for the final paper. The scientific method, which is sort of the traditional supports science, the steps are, again, very straightforward. Gather information, develop questions, formulate testable hypotheses, measure and report, and then peer review. And again, we're going to be going through this in a very scaled down version, but again, collecting information and sharing it with your peers and generating new hypotheses and new questions and hypotheses from the comparison of a larger data set. So one of the things we need to do is evaluate, and often you think of evaluation at the very end, but that's why we put this right up in week 2. We want you to be thinking about the evaluation of the project all along. And the key question is, are we doing the right things? Not just are we doing things correctly, are we going through the mechanics correctly, but are we really getting where we want to get? And this requires a value judgment. And that value judgment really should be part of the initial phase of any project. And this is the difference between environmental science as a mission-driven sort of science, mission-driven meaning we have problems and we're trying to solve them, compared to the truth-seeking sciences where the most important piece is to get every fact as close to true as possible so other people can build on them. Often we're faced with problems. We don't have that luxury. We don't have that time really to drill all the way down and prove every last thing. We have to move forward. And so that's where this evaluation comes in. What are you going to do? What are you not going to do? So in the text, there's this general criteria, and I'm not going to read through everything here, but this is really worthwhile for you to look at early as you do the assignments and you think about, okay, how are you going to use the peer review process? What comments are you going to make to other people? How are you going to participate in this scientific evaluation? So I encourage you to go and as you're thinking about the assignments you're doing, keep these ideas of scientific evaluation in your head and refer back to them.